Greetings, Rooted Soul community. And those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the Rooted Soul community. My name is Jamila. I am a certified holistic energy healer and licensed professional counselor. And on this channel, we talk about all things pertaining to our wellness, to our healing. It is my belief that as the global majority, Black, Brown, Indigenous people of color, that our liberation, a pathway to our liberation, is through our holistic healing and reconnecting to our indigenous practices. So if that's something that vibes with you, please like, share, and subscribe. So I don't know about y'all, but I have been feeling it. The things that I share on this channel, I am not talking from a place above anyone. I am talking from a place of communing with you. You hear me talk about collective healing and community. I think is very powerful form of healing. And I think it's something special that people of color possess, that we are spiritually connected to one another, and why healing circles are so powerful. And so I am walking with you guys with everything that I share. And so I had mentioned on my Substack profile, I don't even know what you call it, but on my Substack, I was talking about how I have had to take a pause on the podcast because I am literally going through the energy that I'm on right now. Like the energy of the moon is the next energy to talk about, and I am actually working that energy right now in live time. And if I can, it is challenging. It is a challenging journey, transforming one's life, because your inner, like your intuition, your knowing has told you this is the way, this is what is calling you. And when you honor that, when you honor your knowing and you step into that, which, we talk about in the, I don't remember which energy, where we talked about the difference between knowledge and belief, and how the liberation journey, our healing journey, is knowing, our learning rather, are growing and evolving into a space where you are able to live in flow and harmony and balance with your knowing, even when it comes up against beliefs that have to be challenged. You can bring those into harmony to the knowing. And so when you are going through a transformational journey from your knowing, it's still challenging, because oftentimes that dream or vision that you that was downloaded, like you got it from a place of meditation, or like what I'm calling the mountaintop. But then you have to go into the valley and actually do the work for that vision to come into completion. And that in the valley, that in between, is one of the most challenging places, and it's where the bulk of the work happens. And I am feeling that myself. I am on a transformational journey. I have seen the vision. I know the vision. I trust the vision. But down here, working it through this gravity is no joke. And so that is like what's happening in my journey, or where I am currently in my healing journey. And so I don't feel like I'm able to really, bring anything yet to the moon energy, which is, like I said, the next episode is about the moon energy. And by the way, those of you who are new, I have been going through, so energy plays a big part in our healing, and realigning our lives and reconnecting to the divine energy that's within us and knowing how to use it and unblock it or decolonize it is a big part of wellness for people of color. And so I have been talking about the different energies using the tarot deck, the major arcana. And so that's what I mean when I say the moon energy was the next one that we were going to talk about. And so anyway, so I have just paused and given myself space to pause and in this pause and giving myself time to reflect. Like I don't have to rush to have things put out. I can move in my own pace and it's okay, and just trusting the process. And so from that, I feel like my ancestors spoke to me and just started to give me wisdom about unbalanced gravity force and how unbalanced gravity force plays a role in our healing journey as people of color. And so I just want to share with you some of the things that my ancestors downloaded to me. And it was such an inspiration and just encouragement, and it was what I needed. And it has been really beneficial in my working through the valley to completion to my vision. And so I hope that it can be of some encouragement and inspiration for you as well. So the message that my ancestors were sharing with me about unbalanced gravity is that as Indigenous people of this globe, we are constantly bombarded with unbalanced gravity. And this unbalanced gravity comes from colonizers, the unhealed individuals in our own community, and et cetera, et cetera. And that this energy can be a heavy load. And because of its heavy load, we can feel pressed down, thus depression. And in those depressed moments, it can create confusion and doubt in our divine power and knowing. It can cause us to get to feel insecure and lose some of our confidence in that knowing and start to believe what we see around us, and how this unbalanced gravity lives in the energy of beliefs, right? Beliefs of entitlement. Like, I don't have to care about how my choices impact others. I want what I want when I want it. Wounded pride and these dangerous fears that we see impacting the world right now, like capitalism and imperialism and white supremacy. These are dangerous fears and wounded pride. And this is all in beliefs, and knowing is stronger and more powerful than beliefs. We can change beliefs, but a knowing is a knowing. And so my ancestors were telling me how like this unbalanced energy lives in the energy of beliefs, which is a lower energy. And that when you are depressed in it, you have lost connection from your knowing. And so this energy can bring dark clouds, which causes the struggle of starting to actually, like I was saying, believe these things that you're seeing as to be true, that you are defeated and that maybe, I'm being silly, or what was I thinking? Maybe I'm being a fool to ever think that this dream could be true or this vision could be true for me, right? The dark clouds create the weeds of doubt. And your inner spirit is attempting to fight against that, right? To remind you that this is not true. But because the unbalanced gravity is so loud and weighty, our nervous system becomes overburdened and hyper aroused. And this is how, anxiety sometimes comes into play, trying to come in to try to help us, right? And function as a savior when it is the worst helper of all. But this is kind of like what begins to happen within us, what my ancestors were sharing. And so they were saying that a pathway to liberation, right? A pathway to removing that is by the practice of withdrawing from the noise and communing with nature and the elements. The practice of remembering and honoring our ancestors, the practice of trusting your intuition, your spirit, the practice of creating space for breathing and mindfulness, the practice of learning who you are, whom you come from, your history. To know thyself is the most powerful defense. The practice of curiosity and critical thinking to challenge the narratives that are constantly being fed to us. These practices return us to alignment with our divine power. Everything we need is within. Whenever I go to my ancestors for encouragement, for protection, for wisdom, I always hear this, that everything I need is already within, that I am equipped as a divine being with creative force to alchemize whatever energy comes my way for my holistic wellness, for my balance and my harmony. And so this was the message that was given to me, and it just came at the right time for me. And I just wanted to share it with you and hope that it comes at the right time for you. We are on a collective healing journey. The global majority, we are the global majority. When we return to our knowing, when we awaken, our divine energy and power within us is greater than the unbalanced energy around us. It reminds me of the song from Wicked, is it Defying Gravity? Which, by the way, I remember when that movie first came out and I was like, I'm not going to go see this movie. But then I kept seeing on my social media, like Black women were saying like, no, it's really good. It's good for Black women. And so I trust my Black women because I'm a Black woman. So I trust. And so I saw it and I was like, oh my God, this was just so right. And that's a lot of what was happening in that movie. Like, I feel like that movie is actually summing up what I was just sharing, that like what we have inside of us is actually so above this unbalanced gravity. And so I hope the ancestral words that I shared with you will be a space of, or create a space of encouragement and inspiration for you as it did for me. Ashe. Thank you for visiting The Rooted Soul TV. Please again like, share, and subscribe. If you are in need of additional support on your healing journey, please visit Rooted Soul's website to learn more about our services. And remember, community, to stay rooted, stay whole, and stay in your soul. Ashe.